Good morning, traders, and God bless. All right, I think we have all the bugs gone finally. Added more memory to the computer. Everything seems to be running smooth. Now just need to add a little memory to me. That would help too. Not seeing much moving yet this morning. I've seen a couple of stocks moving around. Guess we'll have to wait till 6 o'clock. That'll be about 5 minutes. If you're new here, we'll be watching this volume spike column for anything that spikes up or down, and it's noted by red or green. Once we see a spike, we'll come over here and confirm that the moving averages have crossed over. This one is the 5 EMA. This one is the 13. Once we see that crossover, we confirm that we have enough volume to get in and out of the stock. If we do, we watch for these arrows to pop in. Up here we have a bullish or bearish indicator. We like to see bullish. There it is right there popping in for us. Down here, this is the overall volume, and we're watching these two labels on this end to see if they're bullish or bearish, or buyers or sellers in this case, and the overall volume. So we're monitoring the entire volume down here, this candle. We're monitoring this ribbon up here for this candle. We're monitoring the volume spike, and this momentum indicator's been looking back 30 minutes to find any stocks that's been moving in pre-market. If they move a little bit, they get a small number. If they move a lot, they get a higher number, like this stock here. So we wait on a volume spike, immediately check out the volume. Do we have a crossover, bullish or bearish, buyers or sellers? And we make our decision to get in. I'll be marking support and resistance levels as these stocks appear. We don't chase green candles. We wait for the pullback, such as this, and we get in at a pullback. A good example of resistance and support, I would have been marking this candle when it became green. I'll be watching this red candle for when it pulls back and stops, and I'll mark the bottom of it. This is always going to be our entry level, the support level, and we play the bounce up. It's that simple. We just need the stocks to participate, and we make a few dollars. Make sure your chart is set on EXT for extended hours so you can trade pre-market. Let me do a quick refresh before the bell rings here. I'll see if I can get it. All right, it should be refreshed. The connection, I can't control what TD Ameritrade does on the time delay or YouTube. You might want to check it now. We got about 30 seconds to go. Let's see if we can't get a mover this morning. 10 seconds. Been watching this stock. It's been moving pretty good this morning. Let's see if this is the play we need. And we are pulling up. I will wait for this candle to stop rising. Lots of buyers on this one. Also lots of sellers. Need this candle to close before I mark the top of it, and there needs to be a red candle next. There is the pullback, the sell off. I don't know how far. Watch for the bottom wick on this candle. They may just come back in and buy it, and they did. So we did not get a pullback on it yet. And we may not. We may have to chase it if you want any of it, and I don't suggest that at all. Maybe it is going to be this level. Let's see. This is kind of how it acted earlier this morning. It kind of went up, and then they got into a battle, and it wouldn't move anymore. Are we going to see a pullback? That's the question. We have nice volume. I'll try again here. Let's see if we can get it to pull back. I'd like it to pull back about half of that candle, that big green one. Yeah, I'm getting the same response that I saw earlier this morning. You can't really predict it, if it's going to go up or down. Moving on up again and right back down. I think it may just kind of jump around here like it did earlier this morning. Tall wicks on the top. The sellers don't want it to go up. This would definitely be a gamble trying to buy it when it's acting like this. Yeah, they're teasers. This one may give us a pullback. Let's see if we can get it here. Not going to happen. They're kind of like traps to me. They want you to jump in and then it goes the other way. We need a strong pullback and we're not getting it. This could do it. Let's see if we can get it. That's about 50% of that candle. It did, but it's probably going to jump fast, I think. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like we're going to play around between the zone. It's not really going to shoot up there, it doesn't look like. I see lots of sellers, just as many as I see buyers. Just be patient. Don't fall into these traps because it'll sure burn you real quick. Lots of sellers at that 355 level, keeping it down. Let's move on to the next one that's moving here. Let's see if we can get a play on this one. Well, this is a cheaper stock. I'm not into these. I don't know if any of you are penny players, but this is definitely only paying pennies. 85, 86, 87.5. Going to head back to NV&I. Let's see where it went here. Still bouncing around at support. Trying to break through resistance. Don't know if it's another trap or not. It's a gamble at this point. Another tall wick on the top of that candle. They're driving it back down. Definitely lots of sellers at 355. Got to have patience. If you just jump into these plays, you're going to lose money. Let the strategy set up. If you were watching this stock before the market opened like I was, you would have known that it did the same thing back here twice. It tried to run up, they pulled it back. It tried to run up, they pulled it back. And it tried to run up here and they pulled it back. Yeah, it just looks like it's going to. That's the problem. We can get a lot of buyers in on this stock. It'll run the sellers out of the way and it'll rise up. Right now, there's enough sellers up there to keep it down. I can add the line dominator up here as well if you want it up there. I know both. There's some that prefer the line, some that don't. Now you can compare both. To me, it tells me the same thing. Watching the red part of these sellers against these buyers is doing the same thing here. Little bit of green candle, the little green line comes up a little bit. You can see they're pretty much equal here and they're pretty much equal there. I think it's once you learn to read the bars, it's the same as the line indicator. Another penny stock on the move. I don't play these. I don't think they're worth the investment unless you buy 10,000 shares. And I'm not going to get that deep into a stock in pre-market. David, I find if you overlap them, lay one on top of the other, you lose these two labels over here. This tells me the buyers are ahead of the sellers. But if you put this one on top of this one, it disappears. So good thing we didn't pull the trigger on this one. Now I see big sellers on there. I just saw a 66,000 share seller on this stock. Now they're trying to push it up. Let's see what happens. It's probably not going to make it through past 355. You'd have had to guess to get that bounce play out of it. So if you're new here, these two indicators are the same. They're just displayed differently. This was the latest one, the Dominator Master. This was the Dominator lines down at the bottom, and that's obvious, I guess. But you can see the sellers are ahead of the buyers. You can see the same thing here. There's more sellers than buyers. I was ready to pull the trigger just like everybody else was. It just did not mature. There's nothing moving, so we'll stay with it and see what it does. If it ever does try to break through. That's that penny stock moving I'm watching here. So did the delay get any better, or is it still around 10 or 12 seconds? I'll keep refreshing it once we get in these dead spots like this. Try to get a better connection to YouTube. All right, while nothing's moving, I'll refresh it one more time. I'll give it another shot and see if we can get it. All right, we should be coming back up here now. And we are connected. I do not M109. Buster, I'm on a control panel on my side. You can't do it on your side. Has any of you tried getting out and getting back in to see if you catch a better connection? Or just refresh your browser, whatever you need to do. Funny thing is, I get everything connected. The computer's finally fixed. It's running nice and smooth. And then I bring up TD Ameritrade, ThinkorSwim, and it won't connect to the internet. So it took me 2 or 3 attempts just to get TD Ameritrade to get an internet connection. I got a server error from ThinkorSwim. So I fix my side and their side breaks. Firefox, I'm with you, brother. I'm waiting on that bull market. We're going to really knock it out of the park if we can just get some volume back into the market. This will be like spreading peanut butter and jelly on a piece of bread. We'll be just knocking it out. Man, that's right with my clock. That's where it's getting the time, is off of my computer. I think we all got some demons, and I won't say who they are, but they're running the country. No name calling, but they're running the country. CMND, it already did one pullback. Let's see if we get a second one. Probably not going to happen there. I'm pretty much seeing the same thing on this stock as I've seen the other ones. It looks like the sellers are outnumbering the buyers. These things are being driven backwards, that's for sure. They don't want us to get any profit out of them. This could be a pullback. Let's see what happens. I'd like to see it come down to this level, and it did. We need this red candle to close for the bounce up. And that's hoping we get a bounce up. This is the second pullback. I think the play on this one would have been the first pullback, not the second. Let's see if we get a bounce here from 274 back up to 292. Not liking the dominator lines or the bars. Not liking this label either right here. Bouncing around in the time zone between the resistance and support levels. It's wanting to go up. Do they have enough buyers to drive it up? Yes, we did. And we're breaking through, or trying to. Another stock with a lot of sellers at the top. Back down to 274 for a retest. Looks like a repeat of NVNI. Looks like I'm watching a rerun. Alan, it's usually 2 to 3 seconds, not 10 or 12. That's why I highly suggest you get set up on your own computer and trade off of your system, not mine. The delays could cost you money. So don't wait on me to make a call. You should be drawing these support and resistance levels as well and playing them right off of your machine. You could do this all day long, providing we have stocks that participate. But for quite some time, it's been dead after 9:30 every morning. Got to wait on the good days, Dana. If they give you any doubt, it's just best to stay clear of them. At least you can add that to your $59 you got yesterday. You got that right, Firefox. We've been nailing them for quite some time. It's just the market has changed. Doesn't stay the same all the time. Sometimes you got to change your strategy. I've actually seen days where I had to chase green candles if I wanted anything. Dusty, that's my biggest fear. If they apply AI to the stock market and it learns how people trade so it can play against us, I would say the trading days are over. Hopefully they never do that to us. But the way things are going now, I wouldn't put it past them. Well, I'd like to see proof of that if you got documentation, because I haven't seen it applied. I think a lot of people assume a lot of things, and it may appear that it's true. But I'm a guy that needs proof. Casey, I would probably take that as proof, but I really don't think it is. I mean, we have seen stocks on bad news go up because the news wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. That's why I don't trust news. I prefer to play the numbers on the board. I honestly think it would be highly illegal to implement some kind of software to go against the investors. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I would like to see proof that that's been applied. I know what algo trading is. You're saying there's software that's been applied called AI that goes against us, and I don't believe that statement is true unless I see proof of it. I'm talking about AI is what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm in the same boat with you. I don't trust them either. I wouldn't doubt that they would maybe try something like that. It's kind of like we had a member saying, well, now that you develop these indicators, they're going to go against them and make sure they don't work. Like, where did that information come from? They want us to trade. They love me making indicators. It gives them more trades. They make more commissions. And hopefully you understand it's not the retail trader that moves the market. We're just a very tiny piece of it. We just go along for the ride, try to time their movements. That's how we trade. Looks like CMND is going to give it another try here. It's going to have to break 292 and come back down and retest it for me to be interested. Temptations don't make money, they lose money. Hawkeye, it's called Widget Launcher. We may see a pull up here on CMND. Maybe we'll get that retest to 292. Nothing moving. Enjoy your coffee, your lunch, your dinner, wherever you are. We're in the slow period at the moment. Next time will be 7 o'clock before news comes out. Those companies release news the top of the hour. We have seen it happen at the half hour as well, but it's rare. Hopefully something will happen at 7 and give us a stock play. We did go back up and test 292, as I said earlier. They finally broke through 292. Let's see if we can come down and retest 292 and stay on the top. Let's convert that resistance to support and see if we get another bounce up. We're retesting 292 on CMND. Let's see if we can bounce off of this 292. I'm thinking it probably won't. It didn't go very high above 292. But we'll see. It did retest it. But it may retest it several times. Back down to 292. This one definitely unpredictable. Just when you see that big green candle form, it shoots up there and pulls right back. I guess this would be a small entry if you wanted to risk it. I'm seeing a pullback on the tick chart. Going up for a little bit more. Ram, everything is coded by me. You won't find these on ThinkorSwim. I'm a coder. I'll do a demo here in just a minute and introduce myself. I'm waiting to see where this stock goes. It's really unpredictable for an entry. Looks like the buyers are slowly dominating and then it pulls back. Probably too late to get into it now. And then it'll go to $5 since I said that. Thank you for joining us, Montbell. All right, while we watch this stock, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own indicators. Started with this volume spike indicator. I needed a way to get rid of my subscription service that was giving me one stock at a time, so I broke volume down as far as positive and negative volume and came up with this volume spike indicator that lets me know the moment a stock starts moving. Out of this indicator, I built the MOMO indicator, which is momentum. And this indicator is looking back 30 minutes to let me know any stock that starts moving. If it moves a little bit, it has a small number. If it's moving a lot, it climbs the ladder and gets a larger number as it's going up. Once I confirm a spike, this is called a pullback strategy. It consists of the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA. So we get a spike, we confirm the volume in the current bar, which is this bar here. If the volume is high flow, in other words, a lot of people are trading it, and we can determine if it's safe to get in and get out safely without any problems. We then confirm this crossover, and we see if we have these spike arrows popping in. These arrows indicate that there's more buyers coming in as the stock is rising. Then you get an arrow on the top saying now the sellers are taking over. Up here you'll see bullish and bearish. It's also measuring this current candle. It lets you know if there's more buyers or sellers in that candle. Down here we look at the overall volume. We don't use volume bars here. I broke the volume down as far as sellers and buyers down here at the bottom. And just so you know, it's not really sellers and buyers. It's all coming off of this indicator here. I call negative volume sellers and positive volume buyers. It's not really buy orders or sell orders. Keep that in mind. It's just the direction the price is moving while the volume rises. That's what this indicator does. That's how I was able to overcome paying for a subscription service. It lets me know immediately if something starts moving. Down here, you'll see the volume dominator. This is letting us know if there's more buyers or sellers in the candle. It's also built off of this script here. And down here is the same indicator in line format. So the red line would be the sellers, the green line would be the buyers. And you can tell who's in control by watching these two indicators. Never trade off of my screen. If you do, you could lose some money. My screen is sometimes delayed, and that delay can vary. If you haven't joined my YouTube channel, I have lots of videos on all of these indicators. That's the link to my YouTube channel. I suggest you watch the videos over and over and make sure that you learn what's going on here and how these indicators work. They're very powerful for pullbacks. We like to do the pullback strategy, and I will set support and resistance levels. As the stock starts taking off and pulls back, these levels here let us know if this is going to break through resistance or bounce off of support, and we like to play bouncing off of support so that it breaks through resistance and we take our profits and move on. If you haven't subscribed to my Discord channel, that's where you will find all of these indicators, all of the help. There's over 3,500 investors over there. Join my Discord channel and head over to Start Here. If you're not familiar with Discord, it'll help you navigate through all the different channels and the scripts and the scans. You'll find this setup over in Current Setup on Discord. Steps 1 through 5, just follow the steps, install the scripts. If you have trouble, visit our how-to video section, and particularly video number 8, which will help you understand how to install these scripts, labels, and indicators. Over on Discord, you'll find the trading floor where we have Gregster and River Place Dad doing their due diligence on stocks and posting the good ones as they occur. Over in the options trader, we have Bobby, who does options very well. He gives tips throughout the day when he's available, and sometimes holds a live stream like I do if you want to get a little bit deeper into options. If you have trouble installing these scripts and you've watched video number 8 and how-to videos and you're still having issues, head over to support where somebody will give you a helping hand. I appreciate you joining us this morning as we wait on this volume spike indicator to lead us to the next stock. Andy, it's a battle between the two. I prefer the bars, but I guess that's because I wrote the script. I know what I'm looking at. So if you're unfamiliar with how we trade, we're pretty much volume and price action. Me, I trade without a lot of these indicators. It's just because that's the way I'm used to trading, and eventually I think you'll get to that point too. You'll be reading candles and doing support and resistance, and these lines will disappear. Just takes time to get used to everything, get comfortable with it, get steady in profit, build confidence, and you start taking away indicators. Or at least I think you should. I think you really should learn volume and price action. That's where it really is. These indicators help you learn that by giving you crossovers, spikes, and so forth. Looks like the party's over for CMND. Jamie, I used to, but I find that it's more reliable if I use the body. It seems like that's where the price actually ends up. I mean, the actual price is not the spike, it's the body of the candle when it closes. Me, a spike is where it wanted to end up, but the body is where it actually ended up. You are welcome. So we have 312 viewers and only 123 likes. This information is free. I'd appreciate it if you'd like the live stream for me. Let's keep our ratings up on YouTube. YouTube is where I get paid a few dollars, and I do mean few because it is little. But your support by clicking that button helps me to keep that little bit of money rolling. Helps pay for all of this live streaming and these indicators. It don't pay near enough, but it's going to get there eventually, and that's all I'm counting on. We work strictly on donations. If you feel like this channel helps you a lot and made a better trader out of you, there's a donations box down at the bottom of the chat where you type. It's got a $sign with a square on it. Then click Super Chat and name your price if you want to keep this channel going. Once you're over in Discord, if you prefer to get on a monthly fee, you can name your price from $5 a month to $30. That money also helps me to keep the channel going and keeps up with the repairs. I'll throw that word in there because I've had a few of them. Plus all the expenses I incurred getting to this point. It's going to be a long time before I recover it, but it'll eventually come back. So your donations always help. And hopefully I'm helping you to be a better trader. Lack of RAM. I was pushing it to its limit. So Windows is very deceiving, especially Windows 11. You can't rely on Task Manager to tell you how much RAM you're using. I would monitor it and I would only be using 60%, which is fine. But if I left it up, it would vary from 60% to 85%. And that 85% range was actually 100, according to other testing equipment from the shop. So the task manager numbers are not true. They're an average. And I was actually peaking the RAM in my system. LAES, let's see. Did you check the volume on it? No, most people don't. There's not enough buyers and sellers in there to tie your money up into it. It's going to take a spike number to draw my attention. Thank you for joining us, Grace Fire. And thank you to all of the new viewers that are watching this morning. JNPT is not a symbol. Did you get your letters crossed? Jimmy, you didn't miss anything. You missed a couple of rough rides where it was hard to make an entry. JNPR. By the time I get there, it'll be over. No volume. We need this number really moving, not just a couple of ticks every now and then. When you're scalping, you want to know where all the buyers and the sellers are. These are just, I'm hoping it go up stocks, and we don't play those kind. We need to have a lot of volume moving with these numbers. Too risky to get in when the volume is delayed and a couple of more people come in and then it stops and then somebody gets mad and tired of waiting and then they sell and you lose your money. Ricky, I don't know that number. That would be a guess. I've had people say 30 million shares would be low float. I've had people say under 10 million. But that's still not a guarantee that stock's going to move. It would move easier, but that's not a guarantee it'll move. Good morning, Jimmy Noyd. LAES, I think I looked at it earlier. It's only paying pennies. Thank you, Jimmy Noyd, for your donation. Greatly appreciated, and God bless you. It's definitely moving, but how do you make a decent play when the volume freezes after each person? It's quite impossible and very risky. NVIN. Well, NVNI. coming up off the bottom. Definitely moving up. I'm sure it'll run into resistance here soon. If you're talking about the PB script I released yesterday, what it's looking for is some red candles coming back down, indicating a pullback, but it also waits for the next green candle. And once that green candle fires after the pullback, it'll say PB in green or no PB in red if it's not going to pull back. So it's basically letting you know if any of the stocks in your watch list is pulling back. But it also confirms the green candle after the pullback. Thank you, Bullover Bears, for your effort to help everybody. That's what I like to see. Members helping members, traders helping traders. That's what makes the system work. I help you, you help them. It's a chain reaction. Everybody wins. Good morning, Will. CMND trying to reach back up there to 292. And it did retest 292. Let's see if we break through. Maybe the sellers are gone, but I don't think they are. We may be bouncing around between these support and resistance levels. Looks like CMND may break through this 292 here, and it did. Might be going back up to retest. Hopefully this 316 up here. I'm going to say it's going to come back down and retest 292 before it goes to 316. Looks like the buyers are slowly overcoming the sellers. Good morning, Lance. I think we're going to retest 292. All depends on if the buyers are stronger than the sellers. The volume is not great, but it is moving. Geraldo, it's over in TOS scripts. Or if you load this V4 indicator, it comes with it when you install it, this indicator here. You can find all of this setup over in current setup as well. The current setup is where I try to keep the most recent indicators. And believe me, the newest ones are the better ones. Buyers are trying to drive it up. It's slow profit if you get into it. And there is a possibility of a pullback or a retest. There's always that possibility there. But it is gradually going up. It's showing a little bit of strength. The sellers are not driving it back too hard. So we may end up retesting that 316. What you hear me doing is reading the numbers. You have to really play volume and price action. That's where it's at. These indicators help me to determine that as well. If you watch how the candles are responding, you can tell the sellers were weak, and the buyers were gradually coming in and driving it up. Maybe a bunch of sellers at 316 though. We did make it just past 316. I predicted that earlier just by reading the candles. And there were sellers there. Geraldo, I don't erase anything. I kind of save it as a workspace, and you can do that by clicking Setup and Save Workspace As. And just name it something and then set up a new workspace and save it where you can always refer back to where you were. I probably have 30 workspaces. Once I install something, I don't remove it ever. I save it as a workspace and then create a new workspace. And you can always hit setup and go back to those workspaces. And if you wait on me, I've been creating quite a few things. You would be installing and deleting every week. So it's always best to save it as a workspace, or I'm going to have you all over the place installing and uninstalling if that's the way you do it. Just save it as a workspace, create a new one, set it up, and save it. So while this stock's pulling back, I'm going to show you I have not given up on the swing indicator. I've been actually working on it. Let me load it and show you what I've done with it. So this is the Hull moving average, which is in the original swing indicator. Well, the Hull moving average code is proprietary. I do not have access to it. I can't get access to it. So I had to rewrite a script that duplicated the Hull moving average, and that's what you see here. And what I could do now, since I recreated that code, is I was able to put in buy and sell arrows on the hull, which I couldn't do because I didn't have the code. And I've also put alerts on the Hull moving average for when it changes colors. What I'm having to do, though, is run it into two different scripts. So you'll see my HMA, which is the Hull moving average, and you'll also see the swing combo here. And I went in and I disabled the swinging line, which is the faster moving line, and you disable it here. And then I loaded my Hull moving average to put it back in, with the arrows indicating that the color change has happened. This is really where the money is. This line here is the moving average line. It's kind of confirmation that, yes, you're correct on the Hull moving up. So I have audio alerts on these two arrows, so when it changes colors, I'm notified. And on the other line, you'll see this yellow arrow. It's monitoring the crossover still of these two lines. So you'll have a yellow arrow on the crossover going up. You'll have a yellow arrow on it crossing down, I believe it is. But my main feature here is to know when this Hull moving average reverses and starts going up, and when it reverses and starts coming down. I'm still testing it. I can't combine the two indicators. It'll have to be run as two separate indicators, because this line is also working off the Hull moving average, which is not the same as my Hull moving average. Even though it's performing exactly the same, this code is pulling information from TD Ameritrade's Hull moving average and not mine. But I'm going to keep working on it, fine-tune it. I may eventually put it out there. Trying to get some of the confusion out of it so I don't get a million questions. How do I do this? I don't think I can combine them, or I mess up the other code. So in the background, broken computer or not, I have another one that I'm sitting there doing code, thinking what could be better for all of us. I know a lot of you don't like staring at the screen, and to get an audio alert. Would let you move on with your life and wait on the little ding to happen. LAES. Big green candle. Let's wait on the pullback. Looks like the buyers found it. There's a large number of buyers on this stock. It was 80,000 shares buy. So we may not get much of a pullback. We did. But we're going to get a tall candle on, a wick on the bottom where the buyers are going to buy it right back up and drive it up from the amount of buyers in this stock. Nice jump up from 210 to 220, 219. Tall wick on the top is bad news. We need a pullback from that 209 level if we can get it. Right now, it's not a confirmed breakthrough. That candle did not close above 209. Tall wick on the bottom. The buyers are dominating here. They're trying to keep the sellers out of it. That's about a 10-cent gain if you played the 209 level. Well, not 10 cents. That's a nickel right there. Coming back down to retest 209, that would be an entry point if it continues to go up. I know it sounds kind of backwards to some of you, but we buy red candles. We buy the bottom of these red candles. That's where we make our money. It's called a pullback strategy. Especially when it's bouncing off a support level, which 209 would now be support. If we get into a stock and it drops below our entry point, we immediately get out. We don't even think twice. We just get out. Cut your losses real short. You're going to lose money in the market. It's unavoidable. But as long as you keep the losses real small, your gainers will outnumber and outperform your losses. I know some of you are on the PDT rule and you can't afford to lose a trade, but you're going to have to learn to lose them because you're going to lose your money if you don't. You don't like the PDT rule, move to all cash. You can play till you're out of money. But just because you're limited in trades don't mean you need to hang on for a bigger loss. This stock is all over the place. That's been the case for all stocks this morning. No really big gains for what I've seen in the chat. Mainly small profits. Pretty much unpredictable this morning. This stock had good news yesterday evening, a patent awarded, I believe it was. It may also move. You can see where the news came out yesterday. Right back here at market close. Right there's where the news came out. It went from about 70 cents up to $1.10, I believe it was. So it could do something this morning. So this stock was XCUR if you want to put it in your watch list and watch it throughout the day, especially at market open. CMND seems to be the stronger stock this morning. It's had the longest run so far from this point over than most of them that we've seen this morning. This one did pull back pretty hard earlier, but it's recovered. I guess I lost my lines. I need to put them back on there again. Should have saved it earlier. Nice move up for CMND. There's a possibility they could drive the stock up till close to the bell and then sell it off. Definitely more buyers than sellers. Problem is we probably won't get a pullback on it. You'll have to take your chances. Looking good on the charts. I'm loving the bar indicator along with the lines. Thank you, C-Bun. Steadily moving up. Slight pullbacks. The stock is already up 70%. That does not mean it can't go to 200. So the choice is yours. Steadily moving, light, nice volume, nice rises. I do suspect that they're going to be taking profit here soon. So watch trying to buy the top of these candles. They will all get impatient too, wondering where the top is, and they'll start selling. Probably won't see a pullback. We'll probably see small red candles and a continuation up. You can see the sellers dropping off over on the line chart. Sellers are pulling back and falling towards the bottom. That's a good sign. If the buyers will come back in, they'll run them out of there. And they did. They're going to run it up some more. Retesting 357 at the moment. I'm expecting sellers to come in and start taking profit now that they're seeing red candles. So if you're going to try this stock, I say small share size, maybe sit on 100 shares or two and see where it goes. This is the area you would want to take your entry if you're going to try that. I'm not telling you to buy it, so don't take me wrong. This is where I would try if I were going to try to make a profit on this stock. And I'm not always right. And no, I did not try it. I'm just saying this is where I would. Because normally I don't buy the top of a run-up. Very dangerous purchase. A pullback to 316 before market open would be very nice. See you later, Dana. Have a good one. God bless you. Good morning, Wyatt. Looks like we're going back up to retest 357. We did retest 357. Good morning, Janelle. If you are new here, hit the like button on this stream for me. Help me keep my ratings up. That always helps YouTube. algorithms and keeps me out there in the public. This is why earlier I said if you were going to try this stock, we were down here in this area, and I said take small share size because you never know where they're going to go. That's why I like buying in the red on the pullbacks. This is not really a good pullback to play, but if I were to take my chances, it always would be on a red candle in anticipation of a return back up to the top. Wouldn't be much profit right now at 100 shares, but at least you would be green. XERS, thank you for that, Hennessy. See you later, Mark. No, have a blessed day. Will we get a pullback? That's the question. Or do you chase green candles? I don't. I don't suggest it. It's too volatile this morning. I wouldn't call that a pullback. That's too small of a red candle. Needed to come back a little further than that. At least half of that big green one would be nice. We are going to get a pullback, it looks like. Will we bounce from here? Let's see. From 285 to 291, that's not much money at all. Don't think I would take that trade. Looks like they're going to sell it off. 285 is a support level. Unless this candle closes below it. And it did. So that support level is no longer valid. It would be down here, and there's the quick bounce. I think the upward momentum is gone. Volume has died way back on this stock. It's going to be slow progress. LAES broke through 209. Now retesting 209. The volume is somewhat steady. Nice volume coming in, a lot of buyers. Might see a bounce here toward the upside. Another retest of 209. Looking like it's going to fail. Looked like the buyers gave up. It would not climb high enough to keep them in there and interested. That said, if you're new here, I take a break at 8 o'clock. I'm 2 minutes past that. I shall return shortly. All right, I am back. Good morning, Robert. In about 15 minutes, we'll change over to the market open watch list. It's going to be quiet till the market opens. I'm not seeing anything being driven up before the bell. So I guess this stock goes from 0.1 cent all the way up to 8.98. How can that happen? Either a buyout or a split, maybe. Yeah, I said buyout or split. So it's only up 130,000%. Nano, you can only trust yourself as if you treat paper money as if it were real money. Only invest the money that you would have in your account and don't overtrade it and become profitable with it. Once you're profitable over a period of time, then you move in with small share size if you want to do real trading. XCRS making a jump up here. It's easy to make money in on demand when you don't care about the losses. It's a different story when it's your money. I really think they should do that where you can adjust the price available to trade and on demand and in paper money to where it's the actual amount of money that you would start trading with. If they would allow us to adjust that amount, I think they would take the paper trading and on demand more seriously. You are welcome, Nano. Thank you, Trading Pennies, for your donation. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. Helps me pay my bill I had to pay yesterday for $550. I didn't know RAM was so expensive. Of course, that was 2 repair bills. We tried to fix it without RAM. That cost me a couple of hundred. Yesterday cost me $350 more. Yeah, it was $100 and something a stick of RAM. Over $200. At 32 gigs now. I was working fine on 16 till something changed. They said I'll never exceed 32, that 64 would be overkill and never used. So 32 works for me, and it seems to be working great. I'm only using 50% of the RAM. My biggest complaint is with Dell. They told me that they would build it to perform like I needed it to, and they didn't. All right, I'm going to change the scans over. Let's go for the 50-minute one here. We've been having very few stocks come up in this scan. That tells me the market is not in good shape. We'll go with the high flyers here. I'm going to put Magic Scan over here. Thank you, Robert, for your donation. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. We got about 4 minutes to go yet. So if you've never been here before, we're going to be watching for volume spikes in this column. This scan will be looking 50 minutes backwards instead of 30 like the pre-market scan. The high flyer scan means that these stocks pretty much move up slowly all day long. In this scan, it's looking for the moving averages to be stacked. So the 5 would be above the 13 above the 21, the 21 above the 34, etc. And then the price is above the 5, moving up like that. That's what this scan is looking for. You'll see small red candles on these scans, on these stocks, instead of large pullbacks. You'll have to base your entry on the small red candles. This is a very promising scan. It finds the strongest stocks in the market and lets you know instantly. Magic scan is looking for momentum. So anything that's really taking off should pop up right here. And we should see volume spikes over in this area. Just like this stock here with a spike. But the volume has paused on it. Thank you, Calvin, for your donation. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. About a minute and 20 seconds to go. So if you're unfamiliar, this column is going to get very volatile and you won't know heads for tails. What we do is we wait on the pullbacks. If the stock is moving up highly at market open, and I can find it amongst the whole crowd of stocks that will pop in, I'll try to mark the pullbacks on it. See if we can't get a play. You should be also monitoring the stocks. You may see something different than I do. You may see a better play. Just mark your support and resistance levels and make the best entry you can. Cut your losses short. Hang on to your winners as long as you can and take your profits when available. I'm not feeling confident on anything this morning, and good luck. The SPY did gap up at open. CMND pulling back. Don't fall for fake outs. That's the main thing. The stock looks pretty promising at $8, $7.68. Not a lot of sellers in it, a lot of buyers. It's probably going to gap up and maybe halt. I'm watching a 90,000 share order go through. 19,000. 20, it halted right there. I should have kept my eye on it earlier. I did click on it. It went right into a halt. Thank you, Florida Beach Bean, for your donation. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. ESPR making a gap up here on a run up at market open. You would not play this stock up here. You would wait on a pullback. ALT also going upwards. Nice buyers on this stock. Let's see if we can get a pullback on this one. I'll mark the top when it stops rising. Hopefully they don't have a big sell-off right here and have a big red candle as big as the green one. I've seen that happen before. Lots of buyers on this one. Riding it up. Need a pullback to happen. This may be the pullback right here. Needs to drop pretty far down, though, unless the buyers keep it up. Long tail on the bottom of this candle means the buyers are stronger than the sellers. Going to run up for some more, it looks like. Looking very strong. If you grab that last pullback, you should be out by now. Because we do know they're going to sell off here soon. All right, let's see if we get a pullback on this stock, maybe for the next play. Looks like the buyers are buying up what they're selling. They may not can pull it down. There we go. Come on down. That's what we want to see. There we go. Like to see it close in this area and bounce back up to 12.79. It's only 20 cents between these two lines if it comes back down and closes. But I'm seeing the buyers are buying up what they're selling. You can see the wick on the bottom of that candle. They're buying it up. So the sellers are not winning this battle so far. That candle did close. We should get a bounce through 12.79. On up through 12.79. Showing weakness here, I would be taking profits if you played that bounce. More buyers coming in. That was a beautiful pullback play. Nice run up. That was actually the cleanest pullback of the morning. Yeah, I see the high of 12.95. I don't know what you're seeing on the YouTube side. I don't know how big the delay is. Just make sure you trade off of your computer, not off of my YouTube stream. I can't control the delays. I've got as much internet speed as you could purchase. Nice strength on this stock. It's definitely holding its levels. Few more profit takers here. I think the play is over for this one. C. That's been moving off and on all for the last couple of weeks. We've been having profits out of this stock. I'm not going to chase it at this level. The play was back here on the pullback. Yeah, I'm not monitoring Discord. I'm monitoring YouTube. I can't do both at the same time and play stocks and call out stocks. That's just too much for me. I got to focus on where the traffic is, and that's YouTube. But good morning to the Discord people. I forgot to say that. CCCC still pulling up strong. All I know is the computer's running good. I have confidence again. Maybe I can start clicking the button. I have to get through at least one day of trading without a crash. Let's see if we get a pullback here. I kind of doubt it at this level, but we can try. That candle did close. Let's see if we get a bounce back up from 806 to 820. I'm not thinking it will. I think we're going to probably sell off from here. Do we get a second pullback on CCCC? Nice bounce off at the 807. But will it break 819? That's the question. Keep in mind, when I do pullbacks and set support and resistance levels, the entry is always going to be at a support level. Did go back up to 819 for a good pullback play and broke through a little bit. So that was a pretty weak pullback play, but it did work out. You'd have had to been fast fingers on the mouse, but it did work. I'll take a look at SANA. Well, it was in a pullback. Good call, Michael. Hope you played it. Looks like you could have got in pretty low on that stock, right in this area here somewhere. You'd have had to get out quickly, though. It looks like the sellers are on top of it. It's over at the top already. Good job, Michael. I love buying red candles. It saved me from the losses. Good job, Dusty. I just put a link into the chat for your Discord if you want to come and join us every morning. Load up these indicators. Get set up to make some money. That's what I call it, making money, not losing money. Pull back here on CCCC. This would be the third one. I would not chance it at this point. NEXI. I think that was yesterday's play, right? Nice pullback on Nexi. Hopefully not a sell-off. Need this red candle to close. Volume looking good. The candle did close for the bounce up. Let's see if we can bounce back up, or does it sell off? 1323 is support. Let's see if we get the bounce back up to 14. Struggling. It did get up to 14. Nice pullback play. Good call on Nexi, Dusty. Second opportunity to get out at this point. Back to 14 for a short period. Hope you're learning something this morning. To don't buy the green ones, buy the bottom of the red ones, especially on a run up. That's where you're going to make your money. Instead of waiting for something for 30 minutes to an hour to slowly creep up and give you nightmares on the way. These are quick profits, scalping for money. The pullback strategy has a really high successful rating. Back up to test that 14 again and did break through on Nexi. You'd have had to been quick to catch it, but it did pop up there for a short second. Once you practice these support and resistance levels for some time, you realize you don't even need the lines. You'll visually see this happening without drawing the lines and pretty much call it out without the indicator. It's not hard to visually see what's going on if you're watching price action in the candles. Just don't chase the green ones. Wait for the pullback for a safer entry level and then pull the trigger. They don't all work out, but a high percentage of them do. Just cut your losses short and you should be fine. Nexi back up at the $14 level. It don't stay up there long. There's a lot of sellers up there at that level. KITT, this would be a third pullback. Don't know if I would trust it or not. It's a cheaper penny stock, only moving pennies, but could be a possible play. KITT did bounce back up to the 54-cent range and broke through. Nice pullback for a penny stock. And running on up for a couple more pennies. This is where you get out as a scalper. You don't try to call the top. Trying to predict where that stock's going to end up costs money. You'll realize that in the long run. Good job, Nano. SATS. Currently struggling at this level. It's done made its run up. The pullback was back here in the middle, right in here. I wished I could watch them all, but I don't have that many monitors. I think the amount of monitors you need is endless, really. Which one, Nano? Was that KITT, maybe? You got one right here at market open, a pullback. For the run up, you have one here and you have one here. This does count as a pullback. So we went from here to here. So you could have marked it right at open when it started pulling back. You can mark the high of that candle, then mark the turnaround down here at the bottom for the bounce up. Then you mark this level out here and here for another bounce up and then another bounce up. You can just follow along with what the price is doing and marking these pullbacks, and that's where you make your plays. Thank you, JV, for your donation. God bless you. Market's calming down now. It's going to get harder to get plays out of it. I am watching all of the stock picks from this morning. That was KITT, NEXI, CCCC, XERS, NVNI, LAES, and CMND. You should have all of them in your personal watch list to watch throughout the day. See if you can get another play out of them. Always put the movers in a personal watch list so you can monitor them. So we did get another pullback out of this stock. This would be the fourth one, which is very rare. But a penny stock can do anything. That's why I don't trade them. They can give you big green candles and a bigger red one right beside them. CMND, let's see what we're doing here. I don't see it moving. It's down at the bottom. It's going to have to break 316 for me to get interested in it. Does have nice volume. Not favoring the sell-off CMND had from market open. That's a pretty strong sell-off. Lost over 60 cents. It's kind of like a small bounce. No confidence in it, but you never know. It's the stock market. Looks like my 50-minute pullback finally woke up. Let's see what this stock is doing. We've had two pullbacks so far in this stock. It looks to be like it's halted. It is halted. SATS. This would have been the levels on this one right here and here. The entry would have been down here at support. It did halt. CMND. Well, it hasn't broke it on my screen. It's kind of using it as resistance. It did bounce above it, but it didn't. The candle did not close above that resistance line. I like them to close up there. That way I know it's locked in. Here's the link to the halts information if you don't have it. Over on the NASDAQ site, NASDAQ halts. KITT still moving up. This penny stock's on the move. CDIO, channeling, squeezing, consolidating, whatever you want to call it. PACB, low volume. TME, low volume. There's the resumption on SANA. Be careful here on a re-entry after a halt. You could get stung pretty hard. Dominator looks real good on it. Probably going to go up into another halt. Dominator looking really good on this stock. Let's see if that's a pullback or is that a disaster. That's what we don't know yet. A lot of buyers. Long tail on the bottom is good. It's probably going to go up into a halt. Probably going to come down, retest 820. There's the retest of 820. That would be a support level right there. That would be resistance. It's kind of high to be playing these pullbacks at the top of a run up. I wouldn't chance them. Especially after a halt. Going to remove this one line and reset it. Tail on the bottom of this candle. The buyers are there. Another run up. Good job, KC. Just make sure you buy the bottom of the red ones. Don't try to chase the green ones. They're going to cost you money. Good job, Nano. Let's see if we get a bounce back up here from 806 to 850. The run could be over, though. This would be a risk play. But anything can happen. We'll see how it goes. That's good news, Rick R. That's the whole point, is to have you making money and being profitable. I'm glad these indicators could help you out. Just thank the man upstairs. He's the one who led me to do this. So a fairly good pre-market, a pretty good market open this morning. That was a lot better than yesterday when I crashed right before I could say goodbye. Now that the crashing is gone, I can concentrate on trading again. That was literally driving me nuts to not be able to stay online. I learned a lesson. Never have a little bit of RAM. Overkill. Nice run back up for SANA. Pullback level was quite low on this one. I wouldn't have even considered it a pullback level. I thought they were going to sell it off. I'm not going to count that one as a pullback. I totally missed it. Good job, Dusty. Have a blessed one, brother. And if you're new here, you can see this strategy works well. You see the members posting their profits in the chat. No fluff here, all truth. Learn the real part of trading. Try not to do any guessing at all. Set the levels, let the strategy set up, and make the move. Good job, Hennessy. So we were blessed today. Thank you, Lord, for watching over us and leading us in the right direction to the correct stocks. And we thank you for that. Pulled us out of yesterday's slump. Got my computer fixed. Onward through the fog, as I say. Bill, there's no new V4. It's the same V4 that you get off of current setup. I'll take a look at MRSN. I think that's the right symbol, right? MRSN. Is it in a halt? No, it's not in a halt. Will it give a pullback here? Was consolidating back here. Would have been nice to catch it out of that consolidating. Let's see if we get a pullback out of it. Not very much money in it, maybe 10 cents on this pullback. That's when you got to determine if you want to buy that many shares to make a decent profit. Looks like it may be selling off, though. Going to move on from that one. Let's go back to SANA. Let's see what we got going on here. It's holding this price level. Make and play the bounces between support and resistance in between these two lines, this being your entry down here. Just be careful if it breaks through to get out. But wait for it to pull back to that level. That's a dollar move between those two lines if it'll pull back to 762, back up to 842. Dominator's looking good. The buyers are coming in. Like we're going back up to retest 842. And we did. The play would have been back there on that that 765 level. I would not chase it at this point. That was a good 50-cent run from the moment I brought it back on the screen. Was not a pullback play. It would have been a buying the green candle play, which I don't do. Man, no, there's no certain mark. You just have to play the price action on them. Sometimes they're not very far back. If there's a lot of wick on the bottom of the candle where the buyers are driving it back up, those are entries as well. When you see a long tail on the bottom, that means they can't pull the price down and the buyers are holding it up. That gives me confidence to make an entry when that happens. We did break through the 842 on this stock. So back here, you would have had to watch this candle very closely. And I don't think I would have chanced it over here at resistance. The entry would have been back in here when I first brought it back up. But it wasn't a true pullback. I'd have liked to seen it come back down to 762, but it never did. The buyers came back in and drove it back up. That's always a good sign. It can be a good play once you are highly experienced. Still climbing. I don't buy green candles, so I don't suggest you buy the top of this candle either. even though it may go up another dollar or two, who knows? But it could also go down a dollar or two. Best to get into them after they've taken their profits and then catch the next run up. A retest of 842 would be nice. A lot of investors, when they got here, probably thought I was nuts buying the red candles, but I think they realize now that's where their mistake was, chasing the green ones. I made that same mistake. I'm no better than anybody else. I used to chase them as well. The safest entry is the red candle. Retesting 842. Is this a retest or sell off? Let's find out. If this candle closes below 842 and the next candle's red, it's probably going to go down. The candle did close below 842. There is a chance it could retest 842 as resistance before continuing down. Seeing a bump up here on LAES. Pullback was back here. I was not monitoring it. I just happened to see it spiking. May see a pullback on OMGA. It's kind of a lower volume stock, so be careful on this one. Only 77,000 shares traded on the last candle. I'm going to pass on that one. Let's get back to SANA. Let's see what's happening over there. Showing weakness. I think the market's calming down now. We've got about 5 minutes more to go on this live stream, and I'll be pulling the plug on it. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll put the link down there in the chat. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the videos, like this live stream. Let's keep the ratings up so I can keep this going. Your participation helps. You show up here every morning, and I really appreciate that. So get set up if you haven't. Head over to our Discord. I'll put the link there in the chat as well. Join our Discord. Head over to Start Here if you're not familiar with Discord. If you don't know how to install scripts and labels and indicators, head over to our how-to videos and watch video number 8. Once you get all set up, come join us tomorrow morning for this live stream. I'll help walk you through the indicators. That's what I do. I build indicators and I teach you how to use them. I don't give you buy and sell direction. I show you where entry levels are, where resistance levels are. It's up to you to make a decision if you want to enter or not. That way you learn where your entries should be and where your exits should be if I just show you how to use the indicator. That's the best way to trade. It builds confidence in the trader. Once you get that confidence, if you're paper trading, start with small share size. Don't just jump into the market thinking this works every time, because it does not. So practice, practice, practice. Even when your trading is closed, you can still practice on demand. It's bad, I know. You don't have to tell me how bad it is, but at least you can play around with it, do something on it. Or paper trade with us in the mornings if you want to paper trade. You're kind of limited on what you can do with that as well. But it's that you're practicing is what counts, and that you're attending these live streams and watching how we do it. That's what's going to give you the advantage over losing. I appreciate everyone who joined us this morning. And thanks to everyone who's also posting stocks in the chat. That helps me because sometimes my scans don't refresh when yours do. And it keeps everybody on target. If you feel like I've done you some good this morning, we have a donations box down there by where you type in the chats, click the $, then click Super Chat and name your donation price if you feel up to it. If you don't, that's fine as well. Or if you want to pay a small subscription fee every month, over in Discord, I have a Patreon link. You can choose your price there as well, $5 to $30 a month. If I'm helping you out, help me out. Let's keep this channel going for free. Let's teach all the other investors that are struggling how to make money in this tough market. The more subscribers we have, the more powerful we are, the higher the stocks can be driven up, or at least hold their price, because we probably can't drive them up. But it all works to our advantage. And as always, have a blessed day, and thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you, Forexillion, for your donation. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. I got about 30 seconds to go, and I'll click the kill button. You too, Big Mike. Every one of you, be careful. Continue with your trading. Watch for the pullbacks and play them as you get them. Have a God-blessed day. Thank you. Bye-bye.